Thank you very much. Oh, hey guys, I haven't gotten to it yet. All right, so yes, I'm joined by Hans-Sav and Ignar. Guys, I wanted to ask you, very clean win on the day, of course, but what did you think of your opponents? I mean, AOD coming in as a new support, what did you think overall?
I don't really know AOD. I didn't follow that much the past scene, and I think Steelback is really good, and I think he couldn't show the performance as good as he could. I don't know how to say, but I think, yeah, we played good this game, and they couldn't do much. Like, we pressured them a lot.
They certainly couldn't do anything, yeah. And even in game one, you guys had a very clean overall performance, but it took a while to close that out. Ignar, to you, why do you think that it took a while to close game one?
Took a while? Or can you explain more easy?
Oh, yeah. Why did you close at 40 minutes instead of 30 or 25 when it seemed like you were winning the whole time?
Oh, because enemy team is really safety, not doing like really aggressive. So we really, our coach always saying about like the game system, like no fight and winning. So that's why we win, maybe. Yes.
So you played a much more objective-focused game, and that kind of seemed to be the case of it with the 25-minute first blood, you have to think.
Yes.
So, Hans, to you, is this something that Coach Daku is kind of trying to instill in you guys as a team?
Can you repeat, please?
Do you think that, or is the coach like really trying to push you guys to play much more objective-focused?
I think this game, we played really good objective-focused. Like, we just set up Baron Vision and just turn to them when they were, like, we start Nashor and we turned to them, and we did that a few times and quite worked really well, and yeah.
Well, you were able to get the win. Well, congratulations, gentlemen, once again on your perfect victory, perfect week, I should say. But for now, we're going to go ahead and send it off to the analyst desk to break it down.
Thank you very much. Pyrotechnics, and he was asking about the objective control, and that's something that we were looking at from the side of Misfits. But I want to start first by taking a look at the drafts, because that was also something that we mentioned at the top of show. You wanted them to draft easy, simple, easy to execute, but in the process, maybe not give up Rengar and Camille and Malzahar.
I think that Deficio explained it perfectly, where if you're going to bake a cake, you do not want to give the entire thing to the enemy team, right? You want to have some of that cake too. So the fact that they would leave Rengar and Camille open suggested that, hey, maybe we have a plan in mind, right? The Poppy is something that we have seen being picked as a counter or an answer to the Camille. And to be fair, it worked out sort of in the early game, but the fact that their prioritization was to draft a 1-3-1 composition just kind of made their life difficult, because if you're going to draft a Lee Sin and you're going to look at someone like a Jace and a Poppy, then you have to make sure that you're shutting down the Camille with that Lee Sin, you're shutting down the Draven, and you're preventing them from being these snowballing terrors that result in an awful mid-game for you.
But is it fair to say that Camille wasn't really snowballing that crazily? Rengar wasn't really snowballing that crazily?
Yeah, in fairness to Joko, he did a great job in the early game. Not only did he get a good couple of ganks off in the early, but getting the first blood down onto Camille, rotating bot, putting pressure down onto the Draven, and even getting a kill down there. Things are actually looking very positive for the side of Vitality, and you think, hey, maybe they can actually turn this into something good, maybe they can swing it around, but then you look at around the 11-minute mark, you see this dragon fight being set up, and Misfits just read the play beautifully. So as we jump into this replay, just look at how Misfits collapse. They've already set up deep vision from behind. A really good teleport from Alphari prevents Vitality from being able to go anywhere safe, and Misfits can just get the collapse down onto AOD and transition this into a very fast dragon. So Misfits just demonstrating that even being put into an early deficit, the difference is where they set up for objectives, and that's where Misfits have a clear advantage.
They do. We have a highlight here for Power of Evil. Champion pool has been an issue in the past, but now he's bringing out these new champions. He played a fantastic Taliyah, and he also helped facilitate setting up those objectives with the usage of the wall and cutting off the enemies. And a big question we had is, we know that the Misfits can do this. They can set up early, they can get the objectives, but you wanted to see them close out the games faster, maybe be a bit more clean. It didn't happen that much in game one, but what do you think they did in game two?
Well, game one, to be fair, it was very clean,
yes,
but it suddenly wasn't quick. They really did take their time. But in game two, when you do have a Camille and a Draven, it's much easier for you to force these objectives. And when they set up for the 28-minute Baron, that's where you start to see this proactiveness that we wanted to see from Misfits. Really creative use of the ultimate from Power of Evil to just cut off Vitality. They don't deny Joker from getting into the pit, but just look at how they turn their attention onto the jungler immediately. They stop hitting it altogether, they make sure that the threat of the smite is gone, there's no more ultimate from the Jhin to steal it, and they're able to secure a clean Baron and then push to end the game. You have to look a little bit at Vitality and question, why was there so much hesitation? Why didn't they take a gamble? Why didn't they take a risk? Maybe it's to do with the communication. They are, again, a new roster, but nothing but props for Misfits demonstrating why they are a top team in Europe.
Definitely, and I know you were already excited about the Misfits, but knowing that they have now a week to prepare for teams that will be going to IEM in H2K and the Unicorns of Love, they can only get better. Player of the series, Kakao in this one, again, crushing it, especially game one, it was quite obvious, but he seemed to just be a wheel in that well-turning machine that is Misfits now.
I think one of the big question marks for Misfits coming in was they went through the Challenger Series with Wisdom and with Selfie in their mid lane. They've been brought in a new jungler and a new mid laner. How would they perform? And initially, maybe they looked a little bit slow. And right now, their games are slow, but they've just gotten cleaner and cleaner. And initial mistakes that they had, like setting up around Baron, being able to properly play around objectives, they identified these issues early on and rectified them incredibly quickly. So nothing but praise for Misfits.
Nothing but props. Super crisp and clean 2-0 here by the Misfits. And we are going to take a quick break. But first, a reminder, tickets for the EULCS Spring Finals in Hamburg will go on sale on March 1st. Keep an eye on eu.llesports.com for details. And next, can H2K use their upcoming match against Giants to sneak closer to the top of Group B? We'll find out when we come back.
Power People flashes over the tidal wave. That's beautiful. Wall goes forward. AOD not going to find comfort in the Misfits jungle. He gets locked down. He's set to fall. Hansama cash. Joko does get locked up. That means the Dragon's going to drop. Oh, that's a ton of damage from Alfari. Joko's going to fall. Too early, man. Now they want to fight on the side of Vitality when they push all the way down to the fountain. Just does not matter. 2-0 for Misfits.
Not a nice guy.
No, I'm professional.